Now let us solve some of the questions based on finding the domain and range of a given function. Uh, Now here the function given is root of 3 minus 2x minus x square. Let's first try to find the domain of this particular function. Now, as we have seen earlier, whenever we see a square root, we have a restriction on the expression inside that it must be non-negative. So therefore we can clearly write that 3 minus 2x minus x square must be equal to greater than or equal to 0. So on changing the signs, we have x square plus 2x minus 3, and now the inequality will revert because we are multiplying both sides by a negative number. Now here if we observe the left hand expression, that can be factorized into x plus 3 and x minus 1 less than or equal to 0. So now here if you observe that the two values which make the two factors 0, that is, say the first factor is x plus 3, so that means if we put x equal to minus 3, then we'll get 0, and the second factor is x minus 1, so that's we put x equal to 1. On the right hand side we put plus, minus, and once again plus by the method of intervals, because we observe that the indices of both the factors are odd numbers, and since we want the entire expression to be negative, the only interval which is permissible here is from minus 3 to 1. So therefore the domain of the given function is the closed interval minus 3 to 1. Now let's see how to find the range of the function. So let's rewrite the function, that is 3 minus 2x minus x square. Now here we try to complete the square inside the square root. So 3 minus x square plus 2x. So we take minus sign common so that we can see the positive quadratic term inside the bracket. So now if you want to complete the square, we must add 1, and hence to keep the balance we also must add 1 outside. So that gives us finally 3 plus 1 is 4 minus, now this bracket is nothing but the square of x plus 1. So now here you observe that y is the square root of 4 minus some variable quantity. So now since variable quantity is negative, when that variable quantity is smallest, we will get the maximum value of y, and on the other hand when the variable quantity is maximum, we will get the smallest value of y. So when x plus 1 the whole square is smallest, which is nothing but 0, the smallest it can be 0, in that case we will get y is equal to root 4, and whereas the largest allowed value of x plus 1 the whole square is 4, because if it exceeds 4 then we will have a negative number inside the square root, which is not allowed. So therefore the maximum it can have is 4. So in that case y turns out to be root of 4 minus 4, that is nothing but 0. And now here, since we have the square root as the original function, we always consider the final value as positive value and not plus or minus. So therefore y can range from minimum 0 up to 2. So therefore we write the final answer as the range of the given function is from 0 to 2. Let's move on to the next question. Now here we have to find the range of the function x square minus 2x minus 4, which is also of similar type as the last example. So if we try to complete the square, we will have to add 1 to the first two terms. So that means to keep the balance we must subtract 5. So therefore this is equal to x minus 1 the whole square minus 5, which is nothing but the original function. Now here we see the variable part is positive and 5, which is a constant, that is subtracted. So therefore to get the smallest value of y, we must ask the question, what should be the smallest value, or what is the smallest possible value of x minus 1 the whole square, which is, we know it's 0. So therefore the smallest value of y will be nothing but minus 5. On the other hand, the largest possible value of x minus 1 the whole square does not have any upper limit, because we can increase x as much as we want and we'll get bigger and bigger value of x minus 1 the whole square. So therefore it's nothing but infinity, which is the maximum possible value. So in other words, the range of this particular function starts from minus 5 and there is no upper limit to it. So that's the final answer, which is minus 5 to infinity. Now let's go to the next question, which says find the least value of this particular expression for real x. That is, if x is real, then what would be the least value of this expression? So this is where let's write the given expression to be equal to, say, y. So 6x square minus 22x plus 21 whole divided by 5x square minus 18x plus 17 equal to y. So here we cross multiply and finally arrange all the terms so that we will have a single quadratic equation in x. So therefore on doing that, we get the final quadratic equation as 6 minus 5y times x square minus 2 into bracket 11 minus 9y times x plus the final constant term is 21 minus 17y equal to 0. Now since we want x to be real, which is nothing but the root of this particular quadratic equation, we must say that the discriminant delta must be greater than or equal to 0. So therefore we have the condition that b square minus 4ac. So on substituting the values, we get 4 into 11 minus 9y the whole square minus 4 into 6 minus 5y into 21 minus 17y greater than or equal to 0. Now we can definitely cancel out the factor of 4 and then we'll have to expand this particular square, collect all the like terms, and then finally we will have the quadratic equation in y as 4y square minus 9y plus 5 to be less than or equal to 0. Now we can factorize this, as we can see, that is, the factors will be nothing but y minus 1 and the other factor is 4y minus 5, which is less than or equal to 0. So once again, if we see which are the two values which make individual factors 0, the first value here is 1 and here the value of y which makes it 0 is 5 by 4. As we know, 1 is less than 5 by 4, we must show it on the left side and 5 by 4 on the right side, and then marking the intervals with plus, minus and plus. We want the expression to be negative, so therefore we must consider this particular interval. So in other words, this is the range of the given expression, that is, the value of this expression will lie between 1 to 5 by 4. So since the question asks the least value, so therefore the answer is nothing but 1, which is the least possible value of given expression.